Hey guys, Joe here, and in this video, I'm just going to be talking about the three things that you need to focus on within your business. So I'm in the middle of writing this email and figured I'd just hop in and create a video so then you can watch that as well. So, as business owners, there's a lot going on, obviously with the day-to-day operations, employees not showing up, pain in the ass customers, whatever it may be. It's just not easy, and it's honestly really easy to fall into the trap of over analyzing or not knowing what needs to get fixed first, you know. And so these are my three. Okay, so the first one's going to be knowing your numbers. The second one's going to be your sales, and then the last thing is production. After you sell the job, being able to produce those jobs. Okay. So, and those are in my opinion, the order from, most important to not least important, but, what you need to focus on first. So if you don't know your numbers, well, you have a huge problem at that point because what's going to end up happening is it doesn't matter if you sell more jobs or, if you're able to produce more jobs or anything like that, because, for all you might be selling jobs at basically a loss. So if you don't know what your numbers are for your jobs, well, that's a huge problem. If you don't know like how many jobs you need to hit each week, that's a problem as well. Because the worst thing you can do is think of, I just need to book more jobs. Okay. Well, what's more jobs? Is it two jobs? Is it six jobs? Is it 12 jobs? Like, what is a job? What's that worth to you compared to like how much that you need for each week? Okay. So if you don't know your numbers, I built had someone build it for me, but it's super simple program. It's called the Profit Planner. Basically, it will allow you to track your jobs, not only the dollar amounts, but it's also the time it takes you for each of these jobs. Because from what I see, a lot of contractors, the first step, when you're doing everything on your own, you don't realize like the time that it takes for everything. So if you start to understand which jobs are more profitable, but also which jobs take you least amount of time, well, with those two things, you can figure out how to work less and earn more. Okay. The next thing that you need to be able to focus on is your sales. Okay, so obviously within sales, there's other categories within that. So, the leads and the sales. So, if you look at it, it's like, I'm not booking enough jobs. Well, what's the problem? If you start tracking and you see, okay, this week I had 10 leads and I was able to book, just say 5 jobs. So you had a 50% closing rate, which is great. But if what you sell, those 5 jobs, if they're still not enough to take care of all the bills for your business and also the bills for your personal, well, that doesn't help either. So at that point, if that case, well, instead of booking 5 jobs, you really need 10. Well, you really can't work on improving your selling anymore because you're already closing at 50%. And the problem also with closing at 50% is more than likely your price is too low at that point. Okay, so there's some different things that you need to look at. But at the end of the day, you need to know, again, with using the profit planner or doing it on your own with knowing your numbers, is you're going to figure out what your business and personal expenses are. And I've explained this numerous times, but it's super, super critical. You, break down your business and your personal expenses for the year. So, figure out what your car payment is, your insurance, your gas, like all that kind of stuff. And then, basically take that number, I'll just do 520,000, divide that by 52, and that comes up to $10,000 per week in gross profit that you need. Okay. So from there, if you're booking 5 jobs and instead of being $10,000 in gross profit, well, it's only 5,000 in gross profit. Well, then you have two choices. The one is basically you book twice as many jobs. Okay. But right now, you only have 10 leads coming in. So you really can't book 100% of the jobs that you're, for the leads that are coming in. So you either need to get more leads or you need to, raise your prices. And I do like raising my prices. We started, last year where we started about $1,200. And then what we did is we kept on increasing our profit per job. Or actually, I was looking at the profit per day per crew. So we were averaging about 1,200, and then by the end of the year, we got up to $1,700. Well, going from 12 to 17, it sounds like only $500, but it's actually like 50% more profit that you're making, right? And it makes things a hell of a lot easier. One, you don't need to, if I was currently, if I needed to book 10 jobs, but then we increased our profit by 50%, well, at that point, I don't need to book 10 jobs. Maybe it's only like 6 jobs. And what helps with that is, when we'll talk about the next thing, is the production side of things. If you are looking at your numbers and right now you're booking 5 jobs, but you need to book 10, well, can you even handle 10 jobs, right? So that's where you need to know your numbers, and that's where you could start looking. It's like, well, based on what I have now, I guess we'll go into the production side of things. So, now we're looking at the production side of things. So again, like if you're booking 5 jobs, you need to get to 10. Well, you need to see if you can produce 10 jobs. If you're selling 10 jobs a week, well, you need to be able to produce 10 jobs a week. If you can only produce 5 and you're booking 10, well, that's great in the beginning, because if you're getting the deposits, you're short on cash, so you're using the deposit money for, whatever. Well, what ends up happening is, that'll work for a few weeks, but after 4 weeks, you're now, you were a week out, now you're a month out, and it only gets worse and worse and worse for you. So it's basically double the amount of time. By the time, the following month comes around, now you're 2 months, and then 3, then 4, then 5. Like, what do you do at that point? So that's where you need to start looking at your profitability. So, again, with the production, you have to look at your things. Everything kind of, works together. So, if you have the ability to, produce 5 jobs, well, at that point, you need to look at your jobs and say, well, can I make enough money off of these 5 jobs to, hit my numbers? And if you can, basically you might have to raise your prices. You might have to add additional crews. You might have to do different things, but, it all starts with knowing your numbers. At least with these, you might start getting yourself stressed out. It's like, oh my God, I can't live off of 5 jobs. I really need 7 jobs. Well, at least you know what you're supposed to be doing at that point, because if you're constantly thinking, well, I need to book more jobs. Well, when you book a job, you feel better. But then at the end of the week, if you only book 4 or 5 and you really need 7, well, you're still in the hole at that point. Make sense? So anyway, these are the 3 things. I can get a lot more in depth. I'll be creating other videos that breaks down each of these a little bit better. But at the end of the day, this is what you need to focus on. So, again, there's a link in the description for the Profit Planner. If you are interested, we're doing a 6-week challenge as well, which is basically helping contractors work less, earn more, and enjoy their life. Because right now it seems like a lot of them are just completely stressed out, working all the time, barely making enough money, and it's no way to live. It's kind of like living within a hamster wheel. You're just running, 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 and then you get off and you're in the same exact place. And unless you're able to change your situation, it just doesn't get better. And what ends up happening is you get into the cycle where I just need to work a little bit harder, or a lot harder, or I need to book more jobs, or I need to do this or that. Well, what ends up happening again on this hamster wheel? Well, before you were jogging on a hamster wheel, and now you're running full out sprints, and you get off and you're still in the same spot. So outworking it doesn't happen. You can make up a little bit of difference with working harder, but if you're already working 60, 80 hours a week, well, at that point, you really can't put in any more effort. You could in the short term, but then you're just going to ground yourself. And then at that point, you're not going to be good for anyone. And then that means that you're going to end up, having to not call out because it's your business, but you might not be able to, there might be a few weeks where you have to go down to 20 and 30 hours because you literally just can't do it anymore physically or mentally. You're on the verge of a mental breakdown. So, that's where we're going to help you. A group of contractors, we're all working together and we're going to figure out the best solution for, your situation. So anyway, links in the description. Hope you have an awesome day and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.